Selamat malam pengundi-pengundi Punggol East. Malam ini saya mengucapkan terima kasih banyak-banyak sebab pengundi-pengundi hadir ke rally ini. 各位亲爱的板儿东选民，各位来自新加坡各区的工人党支持者，大家晚上好。Vanakkam. Dear voters of Punggol East, dear Singaporeans, thank you for coming tonight. Yesterday, Dr. Koh of the PAP said that he initially rejected the Prime Minister when he was asked to be the candidate for Punggol East. Dr. Koh said, and I quote, "I don't want to do populist politics. I want to do real work," unquote. Dr. Koh, if you want to do real work, join the Workers' Party. Li Lian joined the Workers' Party. Li Lian joined the Workers' Party in 2006 as a volunteer. Through hard work, she worked herself up into the Central Executive Committee, holding posts such as the Assistant Treasurer, Deputy Webmaster, and Youth Wing President. She worked as Legislative Assistant in the UNOS Division of Alginate. She was not parachuted into Punggol East. She campaigned here in 2011. She is doing a lot of hard work, Dr. Koh. Yesterday, our chairman, Ms. Sylvia Lim, shared about what happened when we took over the Alginate Town Council. There are some contracts that seem to be designed to trip up any opposition that dares to enter into PAP's territory and take it over. When the PAP candidate wins, he will have the grassroots organizations paid for by the government to work for him. He will have unrestricted access to all facilities in Punggol East. He can continue to work with all the third-party contractors of the town council. No contractors will threaten to terminate his contract just because he has won the elections here. Dr. Koh will be on a travelator, guided along by the system, but not so for the Workers' Party. We will be on an inclined treadmill. We have to work a lot harder just to do real work. But we will do it because the type of politics that the PAP has put into our beloved Singapore cannot be allowed. The Workers' Party is willing to do real work for you. Li Lian is willing to work for you. Today I want to talk about education. Many of you have school-going children. It is an important subject because it affects our future. Children are our future. We have made many proposals on education in the Workers' Party manifesto. The Workers' Party MPs and I have spoken many times about education in Parliament. Education has been a way to enable people to climb up the social ladder, and many have done so in the past. Today, a bright and hardworking person can still move up socially by doing well in school and progress onto a good career. However, over the years, schools have been ranked and branded to create schools of different class status. Systems have been created to sort students through various pressurizing high-stakes examinations. This has created an elitist system that has made it harder for those with lower income to climb up. It also resulted in a culture where parents resort to extensive tuition for their children. 5 years ago, the Sunday Times reported that 97 out of 100 children surveyed had tuition. Today, the situation is not any better. We even have people trying hard to get their children into the Gifted Education Program, or GEP, through tuition. You may recall the scandal last year when a tutor faked his credentials and fooled many parents to part with a lot of money for him to train their students to enter the GEP. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew observed 2 years ago that more than half the students at top schools had fathers who were university graduates. On the other hand, he noted from data that he had that less than 13.1% of students in neighborhood schools had university graduates' father. Mr. Lee also said that admission into primary school is not meritocratic, as it is based on the social class of the parents. 2 months ago, we were told that 60% of the students in 6 of the top primary schools in Singapore live in private houses. While MOE may want all schools to be good schools, their policies divide people into social classes. From Primary 1 enrollment policy to the way schools are structured, MOE has created various categories of schools and sort students very finely into each type of schools. The latest is secondary schools that cater just for normal technical students. I fear this will lead to a greater divide of social classes. A survey by the Straits Times last year found that the majority of students in top schools do not have close friends who live in small HDB flats, nor friends in normal stream, nor friends of other races. If they move on to become leaders of our country, how do they empathize with people of the lower rungs of society and with people of different races? The Workers' Party want to see policies that will develop our children well and will provide equal opportunities for all. Some of the issues we have raised include bilingual education, preschool education, better support for special needs in mainstream schools and special education schools, reviewing centralized gifted education and DSA from GEP into top secondary schools, reducing class size for more effective teaching, and more support in local universities for Singaporeans, and many more. I also made an alternative proposal for pilot schools that provide through train from primary to secondary. These schools can develop students holistically without distractions of high-stake PSLE at a tender age of 12. I believe this is workable, as many countries with such systems have done well in international benchmark as well. It will put emphasis back to nurturing students rather than to prepare them from one high-stakes exams to another. I've also probed into how our government spends on foreign scholarships. This is not because I'm anti-foreign scholar, but because I feel we are spending too much with questionable returns. Through a series of parliament questions, I figured the government gives out, guess what, 2,000 new scholarships to international students each year. As each scholarship is valid for 4 years, so there will be 8,000 international students in Singapore. I worked this out to cost the government at least $144 million each year. This figure excludes scholarships given by government-linked companies, which MOE is unable to provide data for, and allowances, which may not be included in the answers. We are also told that 1/3 of the scholars do not achieve at least second upper honors, the usual standards we expect of scholars. When asked in Parliament, the Minister said that MOE has strict criteria for scholarship renewal, which include achieving consistent academic performance throughout. Yet, from the results achieved by the scholars, MOE does not appear to be very strict in enforcing their criteria. The Workers' Party has spoken out on this. Dear voters of Punggol East, the Workers' Party will use parliament processes to scrutinize the government to make them accountable to the people. We will also contribute in other ways as long as it's pro-Singapore. Some of the WP MPs have been invited to contribute ideas for policy input or to sit on committees. Last year, I accepted an invitation to be on the ACE committee, which looks after entrepreneurship development in Singapore. Every month, we look at proposals from aspiring new entrepreneurs to determine the type of support that we can give to them. On my own, I give talks freely in education institutions and to entrepreneurs. I believe this is my little way of contributing towards the development of the business startup scene in Singapore. But at the same time, I've also spoken up against policies that have caused industrial rents to become so high and against government-linked companies and large corporations crowding out SMEs. These are hurting the developments of entrepreneurs. I know Lillian and her views. I have confidence that she will play the role of a constructive, responsible, and rational opposition when you elect her as your MP. Finally, I'd like to address two groups of people. The first is the 41% who voted for Lillian in 2011. Thank you for placing your faith in Lillian. She has returned with 2 years of solid experience in Aljunied behind her. She is now in a better position to serve you as MP. Continue to put your faith in her. The second are those who did not vote for Lillian. Perhaps you were uncertain if the WP could manage the town council. You have seen that we have managed Aljunied and Hougang well. Or perhaps you were afraid that the government may be changed suddenly. This is a by-election. The PAP is already the government. You now have the chance to tell the PAP that you are still not happy. You want a Singapore that's fairer and kinder to you. Stay firm in your resolve to tell the PAP that their brand of politics must be taken down. Come the 26th of January, vote for the Workers' Party. Vote for Lillian. Thank you.